What's up, everybody? JB here, and welcome to the 5th episode of the AEG cast. I have Dalton with me.
What's up? How's it going?
I have Goose.
Hey, everybody.
And Marlon.
That's how you guys, what's up? How's everybody?
Is it Marlon or Marlon? Like Marlon like a fish?
Like he was named after
No,
Wayans,
Marlon as in like Marlon Brando, as in
or
like
Marlon
the freaking
Wayans.
Godfather.
Or Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, I would have gone Marlon Wayans
Yeah.
right there before Marlon.
No. I go for the classy, okay?
Marlon Brando's pretty damn
Yes.
classy.
Yeah.
So. Alright, anyway. We're going to kind of run down for tonight. We're going to be talking a very brief, what you've been playing. Brief. I'm just going to keep using that word. And then we're going to talk about backwards compatibility, including a little bit about PlayStation Now, because one of our guys actually got a chance to try it out. And then we're going to kind of go into our top games of 2016.
So it's like a pretty straight podcast.
Yeah, since it's very, it's second week now of 2018, so...
We'll try to keep Marlon on a shorter leash this week, and hopefully keep it...
Oh, this guy's...
We're not joking, buddy.
I know. I just find it funny, that's all.
As I laugh while I say that. Anyway. Alright, so... What you been playing? Who wants to start?
I'll start off first.
Okay.
Only because I really haven't been playing anything.
God, you're part of a video game podcast. Play some fucking
I know.
games.
That's 3 weeks in a row that Goose has.
But I want to give
anything.
I finally finished Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay, cool.
Right, so I did that. I'm sort of gonna like go against the grain. I've been watching a lot of Netflix. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to it's a German TV show called Dark. It's a Netflix original.
I've heard that's really good.
It's really good, and that's what I saw this whole weekend, along with some Harry Potter films.
I've been watching Entourage again because they put it on Amazon Prime, and that's my favorite show of all time. So, if this was actually called What You've Been Watching, that would
Yeah, I didn't want to derail the podcast.
No, you're good, man. We all have
Super Mario
tastes.
Odyssey.
It's fun.
What about you, Marlon? What have you been playing, buddy?
What I've been playing besides Gran Turismo has been Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
And let's just say that I love the system. When it works just perfectly, it's like awesome. It just makes you like it makes you not get like complacent with your setup and your skills and with your weapons. You want to look for more things that you can want to. But that's what gets me annoyed because I'm a pack rat, so I want to pick up everything.
That's how I am too, and that game is designed to not allow you to be a pack rat.
No.
Because
and that's what annoys me.
Yeah, because your sword breaks after 30 seconds of using it. So
yeah.
Even the Master Sword.
It has a cooldown and everything. Yeah.
I want to be honest about that. Like, what's the point of the Master Sword? Like, I hate in games weapon degradation. I just think it's just a stupid mechanic. Yeah. I'm like, oh god, it's just this old.
I don't think there's anybody in the history of people that I've talked to about video games that have been like, dude, weapon degradation. That's the best fucking thing ever, right?
It's just the worst.
No, man.
Yeah.
I get why some games do it as a game design decision where they try to funnel you into trying different weapons. But I'm just like, man, it sucks.
Fast, though,
yeah, and there's too many points. There were too many points. Like, I mean, I love that game. You'll find out later. But like, I love that game. But that was one of the few parts where I'm just like, what? Like, why is this mechanic in there? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it made the game superficially harder for me because there were points where I was trying to fight like a boss or a difficult group of enemies, and all my good weapons broke. And I'm just like, well, shit, now what do I do? Yep. And I have this fucking stick.
Yeah.
Like, well, this isn't going to do anything to them.
No, it's just going to break in 12 seconds.
Right. 2 hits at him, and it's going to snap in half. But, I mean, anything else, Marlon?
Yeah, the thing is that's the thing that annoys me the most. But besides like the exploration and like the whole cooking that for me was like awesome. It's like
in terms
of like
freaking making a game feel like a true adventure game, like actually it's an exploration game. Like that is probably one of the best ones I've ever played.
Very good job with it.
Yep.
How'd you like the ending? I'm going back to Goose, but how'd you like the ending to Super Mario?
Oh yeah, sorry Goose, I forgot to even ask about that.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. It's cool. No, it was great. I wish I would have finished it sooner. I felt like I looked at my playtime. It was only like 15 hours. I'm like, oh wow, I felt short. But then I've been told that the end game really is after you finish it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I thought
that game is designed for post beating Bowser.
Yeah, no, I thought I thought the Bowser boss battle was kind of cool. One of the things I love about the way Nintendo makes games, well, especially Odyssey, is just how they prepare you to face off against certain bosses by like having you do it before,
Yeah, like
or
learning
having
the
you
mechanic ahead of time.
learning the mechanics before, yeah, ahead of time. Yeah, I love that about them.
What did you think? I mean, I'm gonna go a little bit into spoiler territory here. Like, what did you think of the dragon? I guess I'll just say that.
That dragon set piece.
Yes.
I thought it was cool. Luckily for me, even though I kept reading stuff online, it wasn't ruined.
Oh,
like,
yeah. That's actually very lucky because it wasn't really ruined for me either because everybody's like, man, there's this boss battle towards the end of the game. It's pretty crazy. But I don't want to spoil like too much of how it happens, but you end up fighting a dragon, and I don't.
Yeah, you end up fighting a dragon.
I don't want to go into much more than that.
All I can say about that particular level was that aesthetically, it reminded me of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Just like sort of that medieval,
which is super weird to say for
dark,
a Mario
oppressive
game.
Look.
Yeah.
For a Mario game, yeah. I thought the boss battle was just like any other boss battle. It's just like, learn the pattern and execute, and you'll be fine. Only after I beat it did I remember Justin Davis from IGN's Game Scoop had talked about it. I'm like, oh, that's what he must have been talking about.
Yep.
But I was very lucky in that it wasn't spoiled. But I enjoyed it.
That is very lucky, actually. But yeah, I mean, I really like the game. I like the I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory, but like the kingdom you go to after you finish the game was a very pleasant surprise. I didn't have that spoiled for me either.
Yeah, that's a great kingdom. I don't think this is a spoiler. Well, I guess it is a spoiler, but I won't mention anything what happens. But all I will say is just 2 words: Moon Kingdom.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was there.
So
there are
good.
moments of that game that are just like freaking brilliant, and I honestly wish, like I tried to go back and get some of the moons afterwards, and I just honestly felt like a chore.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wish they still had those story beats that were pulling me through and making me want to get to explore all those worlds. Like the carrot at the end of the stick of getting another moon really doesn't do it for me.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I feel the same way. I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that because that was one of the things that, even with the story beats, I felt like Odyssey was a little bit of a drag.
Yeah.
Although I liked the gameplay, and it's funny enough, one of my favorite parts about the game were the 2D bits. I'm like, if they can make a Super Mario Maker or something along these lines,
I'm surprised. I'm
for
legitimately
the Switch.
Oh, go ahead.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm legitimately surprised they have not done a Super Mario Maker.
Oh, just
like
give it time.
re-releasing it for the
Give it
Switch.
time.
I'd be fine with that. I would pay because I didn't really get a chance to play that on the Wii U, and I heard the 3DS version is not as good. So
Mario Maker was Game of the Year, whatever year that was.
Yeah, 2015. It was like up there for Game of the Year.
I wouldn't be surprised if they release a sequel this year or
maybe do
or
like a
of
Super Mario
Mario.
Maker 2.
Right
Yeah.
now, Nintendo's got their shit together with putting games out and releasing games and shit. So
Yeah, we'll see.
They're just hitting the ball out of the park, man. I'll tell you that.
In terms of releases right now, yeah, they're really cleaning. Like when the Switch first came out, I'm like, man, they ain't shit to play except for Zelda, is there? And now it's like, if you are
There's too much to play.
If you're a fan of good indie games, good lord, you don't even have enough time to play the 50 good indie games that are on that system. And then you have the big releases like Zelda and Mario and Xenoblade and
there's gonna be more this year.
and there's going to be more. Yeah, this year's going to be even bigger.
I'm looking forward to
I
Bayonetta.
honestly can't wait till see what they say at E3.
Yeah.
You know,
E3. I would love to see that.
I'd love a Donkey Kong Freeze, Tropical Freeze port. Like as a
even
as a
just-
big
or
Donkey
just
Kong
another
growing
Donkey
up.
Kong Country Returns
Yeah.
game.
I was saying like
2D
whatever the
game.
one was on 64. I love that one.
Donkey Kong Country 64, like just a 3D Donkey Kong game. That'd be sick.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
In a while, it feels like.
The Donkey Kong Country I don't want to call them remakes, but like upscaled versions for the Wii and the Wii U were probably the last Donkey Kong games. That was like 4 or 5 years ago now.
I didn't play anything because I never had one.
But
What have you been playing?
oh, what I've been playing? Well, I finally finished Nier Automata.
Yes.
How did that go?
18 and a half hours later,
Yeah.
I finished Nier Automata. It's probably the most I've like sunk into a game in like a short period of time since Zelda. I think honestly this year, because I guess Destiny probably did it, but no. Nier Automata, which you'll probably find out, well, you will find out in a little bit, is one of my top 5 games of the year.
Yep.
Which I'll go more into it when we
talk
get
about
to the games of the year stuff, because I don't want to like just be repeating myself. But
Right.
if you have not played Nier Automata, go fucking play Nier Automata.
Right now.
Goose and Marlin.
Anyone listening, even if you just put it on easy and play it,
Yeah, I legitimately, I died, I think, a total of 2 times in that entire game because I put on easy and auto and just let the game basically play itself during the combat. Not that the combat isn't good. I actually really like the combat. It's fantastic. It was just, it got to the point where I'm like, oh shit, this is really difficult, and I just want to see, I want to know what happens to these characters. So.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to get too much into it, because we'll talk about it again in a little bit. But that's honestly, other than a little bit more Assassin's Creed Origins, that's pretty much all I've played this week. I sunk, every night I came home from work, I played Nier for the last week since the last podcast. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I really got.
I'll save my questions for when we do the round table.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah, same here.
Dalton?
Yeah, a little bit of Gran Turismo this week, not a lot.
Just trying to stayed up late last night playing.
Last night was like the first time I'd played it, and then I'm just trying to get my platinum trophy on that. But I went back and I finally beat Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yes,
first one.
Which this actually,
nice.
since you are talking about it, this will kind of lead into the backwards compatibility talk.
Yep.
Because
I
you played it on
PlayStation Now. They offered a free 7-day trial.
Which I'm honestly probably going to do that trial sometime this week because I'm genuinely curious.
They had a sale recently.
Like for the
They had a sale recently on PS Now. I think they were selling it for like $100 for like 12 months or something.
$100 for a year right now.
Huh.
I thought about doing it, but
But go ahead and explain your.
You want to segue right into that? After this? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say have you played anything else?
Totally,
other than Red
yeah.
Dead?
No, I played Red Dead and I finally beat it. Like I played it back when it first came out.
All right.
But I used cheats, and when it first came out, the patch hadn't come out yet to where you could save using cheats. So I didn't know that because at first, when that game first came out, you couldn't save if you entered any cheats. You couldn't save your file.
That's
Yeah,
really archaic in design.
It's
I mean,
bullshit.
granted, that game came out what
2011, 2010.
Yeah,
Like that.
2000.
I think it was on 9, I think.
So yeah, it's been a while.
It came out the same day Alan Wake came out.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it's been a while, and like I said,
Man, you have a good memory, Goose.
yeah, no
Damn.
shit. I got all the way. I don't know for those of you who played the game, I got all the way into Mexico. The first time I played it, and I used cheats, and I didn't realize I must have missed the memo or the fucking thing that pops up on the screen. Yeah. And then I shut the game off, thinking it had auto-saved or whatever, and it didn't.
And you started back, and you just started to start over.
Yeah, and I did not feel like starting over until.
Yeah.
You got walled off in Mexico.
Yeah.
But now
Political stuff.
went back and played through it, and I fucking loved it. Can't wait for the second one.
Yeah. And the weird thing is the sequel's going to be a prequel.
It's a prequel, yeah. So
Sequel is a prequel.
I don't think they should call it Resident 2 unless there's going to be like flashbacks and flash forwards and shit like that, like which they could do.
Or if it ends like with John Marsden showing up.
One of my
Isn't this the gang that John Marsden eventually gets into and then has to go
That's
kill?
the rumor,
It takes
yeah.
place, I think, after John Marsden leaves the gang.
Okay, so it's the stuff
So
that
it's
happens
the 5 years in between
when
Red
he
Dead.
leaves and when
when Red Dead starts.
Gotcha. God, I can't freaking wait for Red Dead 2, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be honest, Red Dead is like one of my big gaming shames. I never finished it.
You never finished it?
I didn't finish it until the other day.
I also got to Mexico, but it was ruined for me. I remember when the game came out,
how it
I wasn't able.
ends.
Yeah, my brother. I literally walked into it. I remember I walked in my brother's room, and he was playing it, and I see so and so. Whatever happens to him. I'm like, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me not to come into the room? He's like, oh, I don't know.
I'm an asshole. So
well, I remember I ruined that. I when I was working at GameStop, I ruined that game for my boss.
Oof.
Because
You gotta raise
it
that
was,
fee, didn't
but
you?
it was like 3-ish years
Oh, no, that's
after it
fine.
came out.
That's okay.
Yeah. It was like not even in the close proximity of release of that game.
Right, and I already knew what was going to happen at the end of that game before I played through it again.
Which, at the time, it was so revolutionary, you're like, holy shit. Like, that is a really interesting, way to end it.
Yeah, and then LA Noire followed suit. Yeah. Except that wasn't as good of a game. That was more of a point and click, like kind of like a Beyond Two Souls kind of thing.
I mean, in a way. I mean, it was more of a, like,
it was still fun, though. I liked the game.
I mean, it was, they tried, like, everybody thought it was going to be Grand Theft Auto in the 20s.
That's what I was hoping for. That would have been fucking.
You should have played Mafia then, right?
Yeah. Have you played the Mafia games?
No.
You really should. Mafia 3 is really friggin' good. It gets repetitive.
You should skip the first Mafia.
Well, yeah, don't play, because I think the only way you can really find the first one is if you own a PS2.
A PS2, yeah. You could skip it.
But don't play the first Mafia game.
Mafia 2 is cool with Vito.
But yeah, Red Dead. So give me your experience. So segueing into backwards compatibility / PlayStation Now. Give me your experience with PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Would you say if you were given a choice to subscribe to it, would you subscribe to it?
If I had to pay the $20 a month subscription fee, absolutely not.
Okay.
It's not worth $20 a month, in my opinion. And like they say that you only need like a 5 megabit download speed.
Yeah,
I've got I've got like 50, and it was
for 480p maybe.
Yeah, I've got 50 megabit internet, which isn't the fastest.
Was it just straight like dropping, or was it like did the frame rate
frame would just
fall
stop,
out?
And then
was it laggy at all?
Yeah. I mean, the majority of the time it wasn't, but you would get that little icon up the top of the screen.
Did you get pixelated graphics?
Are you hardwired?
Pixelated graphics. I wasn't when I was playing.
You're not hardwired.
I wasn't.
Okay.
At the time. I could try it hardwired.
I'm curious because I have 100 meg internet, and I have my PS4 hardwired. That's why I could try
Yours
this.
Would probably do better than mine.
Yeah, I wanna because I saw Nino Cooney was on there, and we were talking about it.
It is.
That was what you were. Yeah, you were going to play that, but your trial is almost over. I doubt you would want to spend $20 just to play Nino Cooney.
No, I probably won't play it, honestly.
I just want to hear the fucking music for Nino Cooney again. Like, I literally want to play it just so I can hear. Oh god, I'm so excited.
Yeah, PlayStation Now. I think it's worth. Like you said, that they've got like $100 promotion going on for it for a year.
$100 for a year. That's not.
I think that's
$100 for a year.
That's less than $10 a month. You know what I mean? So,
do you guys think it should be included in the overall PlayStation Plus subscription? If it shot up to like $60 or $70, would you guys be okay with that?
Yeah, I was just about to say if they added a tier. No, if they added a tier of PlayStation Plus for, let's say, I would say up to $20 more, because it's $60 a year. So if I paid $80 a year,
they've already raised it $10.
Yeah, if I've paid $80 a year and got, I guess at that point it's still $20 a month. Mm-hmm. No, it wouldn't be because
it's $20 a year.
Yeah, so yeah, if I paid another $20 for a year and got PlayStation Now included in that, I would probably dabble in a lot of those old games.
I would buy it for that, but I don't think.
How do you guys feel about essentially paying all over again, in a sense, for games that you already own? Totally,
okay, yeah. If we're gonna that's kind of digging right into the backwards compatibility thing.
Yeah, I
think it is. This is opinion. I think it is really, really dumb that Sony does not understand how to basically allow their PS3 games that I have purchased digitally, because I have probably 100 PS3 games I own digitally. Why the shit can I not play those on my PS4? The digital copies. I understand that I cannot put the PS3 discs in the PS4 and they work.
Well, technically, they're not running on PlayStation 4 hardware natively. They're running on PS3 hardware that's being streamed over to your PS4.
Right.
Yeah, but how?
But I'm not defending against it. But yeah, no, it's not running on native hardware.
No, but how? You have to tell me that is not. You can't tell me that is a difficult process. to do.
I get the disc. Because then they'd have to...
basically redo the PS4 hardware.
Well, they have to put the PS4...
This is really nerdy, but the PS4 architecture is, completely different from what the PS3 architecture was. Yes. So I can understand, even though I hate it. I have I don't want to say hundreds, but I have many, many PS3 games, both digitally and physically.
So do I.
And I hate the fact that I can't play them on my PS4.
Right.
And I sort of get why they don't work, because the architecture of the PS3 with the cell processor was just so exotic.
Yeah.
But one thing I just don't get is why can't I play PS1 or PS2 games?
Yep.
Like, they've proven that they can do PS2 backwards compatibility because you can buy those, what is it? PS2 on
classics.
PS4 game classics.
PS2 classics on the fucking
Exactly.
Which I
website.
have. They've gotten my
It's like
money multiple
stupid as hell.
times.
I'll be honest,
Well, I bought
on
the GTA
principle,
trilogy.
I will not
yeah.
buy any one of those games. On principle, I will not buy any of those games.
I bought Vice City and I bought all the Jack and Daxter games.
The only way they may get me is like if they put The Getaway or something, or MVP Baseball 2005 or something, or Here Comes the Pain or something. None of the games
Oh
that
god, dude! If they put wrestling games on there, just fucking shut up and take my money. Just can I just subscribe to just own all those?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god.
And if you look at the competition, I won't even include Nintendo in this because they can't even get their network on right. But if you look at the competition over in Washington and you look at Microsoft, you're like, on Xbox One, you can play over 350 Xbox 360 games. You can play over, I think, 10 to 15 original Xbox games.
yeah,
I'm like, that's
generations ago, 17 years ago now.
Yeah, why can't you play PS2 games? I just don't get that.
I don't get
Especially
that.
when
It's
the
crazy.
original PS3 was backwards compatible with PS2 and PS1 games, and then every generation of PS3 after that could play PS1 games at least.
That's nuts.
I don't
I don't
like.
understand.
I mean, I think like I understand like there are a lot of people out there that don't have nostalgia for stuff. You know, don't have those memories of those old games and could give two shits less that those games are bad. You can play those old games. But I worked in a retailer where I got the same question 100,000 times of, oh, this can play my old games, right? No, it can't.
No.
And they're like, what? That's bullshit. Like, why is it, you know, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't have a legitimate answer as to, you know, other than, oh, the architecture's different. Well, then what do I want this for? I can't play, you know, the old games. And then, you know, Sony's like, well, we have all these new games for every type of gamer and blah, 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 blah.
And I agree with that, too.
And I understand that, too, because, like I said, there's a generation of gamers that don't care if
Right.
you can play the old stuff again. They don't care, you know. But there's certain things like Red Dead and like
Yeah,
Ni no
why
Kuni.
was that not brought over? You announced a sequel. You know what I mean? Why would you not
Yeah.
bring Red Dead?
And one of the things that Microsoft has been doing that has paid off for them like amazingly well is when a sequel to a game that's releasing on Xbox One that had another game on Xbox 360, they will push that. So, for example, when Fallout 4 came out, they included a backwards compatibility of Fallout 3, or they heavily promoted. Red Dead Redemption was like another big. I think I don't want to quote because I don't know what were the sales numbers, but that was really big.
I know, like, yeah,
Black
like
Ops 2 on Xbox 360 was such a huge thing. I think it sold over like 100,000 copies on Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like at that point, it was a 3 or 4 year old game. You know, it's outselling some of the
Yeah.
games that are coming out now. You know, like clearly some of these games have and I understand to a extent, but like one of the examples I always use is like how it should be done or how it's done right is the new South Park game that came out this year.
Good game.
If you bought, you know, the Fractured Butthole, you got
Stick of Truth for free.
on the PS4,
Yeah,
running on the PS4.
Good.
Yeah, why are other games
if
not doing
if
that?
Ubisoft can figure that out, why the fuck can't?
Ubisoft of all fucking companies, too.
Right.
This is the same
I'll be
company
honest,
that
though,
destroyed
like,
the Prince of Persia franchise.
You're gonna bring that up
Being like a
almost
nerd
every
again,
week.
I don't think it was like I think it probably was a port of
And I'm-
the
Okay,
PS4
There's nothing
P3
wrong
Port
with
game.
that.
But it
I
still
wouldn't
works.
care if the graphics are better or not.
Don't remaster it. I don't give a shit. Just bring it over so I can play it.
Yeah, like
I think the publishers wouldn't want to port every single game because it would be more money they'd have to spend. But like if you look at the backwards compatibility on Xbox One, like it's like Microsoft does all the work. There's no porting. There was a great article on Ars Technica on how it works and on IGN2 on how the engineering team over at Microsoft managed to get Xbox and Xbox 360 games to work on Xbox One. It's a great read. I recommend it for everybody. But basically, like Microsoft handles all of the back end stuff, And all they really deal with publishers and developers who may have made these third and second party games. They're like, hey, can we publish it? And if there's any type of legal hurdles, they try to get over that and get the game on Xbox One. But it's basically like flipping a switch.
All right.
Right.
Basically, the way I see it is this: Microsoft is killing when it comes to I/O and customer service when it comes to dealing with compatibility and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a company, Sony, that can't even change their own fucking players' IGN. Okay, you got to be kidding me, right? The in-game tags, you can't even change them. You can't even deal with that stuff. Oh, sorry, we can't deal with it because our system doesn't allow that. Like, give me a handbrake, okay?
Folks have always said Sony's a hardware company and Microsoft is a software company. I think that's totally right.
Because like Sony will pull out these wonderful games left and right, but can't even.
It's funny.
PS1 games not being backwards compatibility. I'm like, a PS4 can run a PS1 game. Come on,
give me a break, man.
Yeah.
A freaking laptop can bring a fucking PS1 game. That's what made 20 years ago. Okay?
It's cool.
So
it's
stupid, man.
And that was like funny that you say that, Goose, about Microsoft being a software company and PlayStation being a hardware company, which is actually kind of the opposite this generation. Microsoft is pushing their hardware leaps and bounds with like the Xbox One X, where Sony is kicking their asses in good software.
Yeah. When it comes to the first party titles, like
it's not even
that's
like
another
not
topic.
even a fucking contest anymore.
It's
anymore. It's whenever I see now when it comes to Sony and Microsoft competing for the console wars, all I keep thinking about that episode of The Simpsons where the Krusty the Clown is beating the crap out of a robber, and a little kid says, "Stop it! Can't you see that he's already dead?" And I go, okay, that's basically whenever somebody tells me about Microsoft and Sony competing against each other.
The console wars
it's over.
It's over. I mean, we're kind of
there was a
report
report came out today.
Right.
Yeah, there was
topic, but no, go ahead, finish your thought, Goose.
No, just real quick. There was a report today that I think in the 2017 holiday quarter, Sony sold through to customers 5.9 million PS4s, which was a drop of 5% in relation to 2016 when they sold 6.2 million.
Right.
And its overall sell-through, it's 73.6 million consoles. Yep. It's about 10 million consoles away from reaching what PS3 did in 8 years or 7 years.
Right.
PS4 will do in 5.
That's
or 5.5, and that's crazy. That is insane.
It's not going to pass the PS2, but I think it's going to hit.
Because didn't the PS2 hit 150 million?
155, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
it was like the biggest console.
I think this
the biggest selling console of all time.
I think this will hit 100 million though.
Well, did you see the Switch is
fastest selling in a year? It's not even been out a year.
Yeah, it's the fastest selling console in terms of product. Moving product in a first year's console life. It's the fastest ever. It's not even like you said. It's we still got 2 months until it's a year.
Yeah, it broke the
until March.
record.
It's gonna be insane. I'll tell you that.
It was so.
It is a great console as long as they can back it up with the software.
Yep. They have thus far.
So far,
knock on wood.
They're doing it.
Two things I want to say real quick.
Right now.
Yeah, go ahead and finish.
Go ahead.
Is that Nintendo? Actually, I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere. I think it was probably a reset era. They've changed their forecast for the fourth quarter of their fiscal fourth quarter to 14 million units sold worldwide. And then just going back real quick to the software between Microsoft and Sony. Sony has positioned themselves years ago to pump out first-party exclusives with their big bench of studios like Naughty Dog, second parties like Insomniac, Quantic Dream, Sony Bend, Sony San Diego, Sony Santa. They have this umbrella. Yeah, for sure. They have this umbrella of studios that crank out first-party games, and then when you look over at Microsoft,
and not just first-party games. Good, like high quality first party games
with a lot of
Guerrilla Games.
Guerrilla Games, yeah.
Forgot that. And then when you look over at Microsoft Studios, you look at them and it's just you got Turn 10 and Playground Games, crank out Forza and Forza Horizon. You got the Coalition with Gears. You got 343 with Halo, and it just they just don't have the depth. Although there's a rumor that one of these studios is creating a Fable game.
You literally just stole what I was going to say. There is
Sorry.
a rumor going. Oh no, you're fine. There's a rumor going around right now that Playground Games, has sorely made the Forza Horizon series,
which are great, by the way.
Making a Fable 4.
Sorry, Dalton. I like my arcade games.
Yeah, sorry, man. Nothing wrong
Dude,
with that.
like Forza Horizon is probably like my favorite racing.
I wasn't
franchise.
dogging you guys. I just don't like arcade racers. It's never really been my.
This was a group text conversation that Dalton, Goose, and I had this week about them possibly re-releasing Burnout Paradise for the PS4 and Xbox One. So that's what that reference to.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, dude. If I could easily see Playground Games making Fable 4 and it being fucking incredible.
Hopefully they do it right though, because I know a lot of fans weren't happy with the last one.
The series peaked at 2. 2 was the last good Fable game.
Yep.
And it wasn't even like top tier caliber, like compared to some of the RPGs that are out now, like The Witcher and Dragon Age and all these, like Skyrim and all these big open world gigantic RPGs. Like Fable doesn't even hold a candle to them, but it could.
Bethesda needs to let Skyrim go away. I know they're probably cashing big time on it.
Oh no.
They're making money.
No, yeah, Bethesda is a Skyrim Fallout house. I don't see them making anything else. I hope they do, but
I mean, I pray that eventually we get Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, but we're gonna get another 5 re-releases of fucking Skyrim before that happens.
they still haven't released a toaster version.
They
so
still haven't released. They haven't. I was gonna say they haven't released a mobile version yet.
You haven't even.
Look, it's not on iOS.
I don't believe so.
Wow.
I'm sure it will.
I figured it'd be. Yeah, for sure.
But no, getting back to backwards compatibility, we went very much off topic.
We do that
there.
every week.
We do.
All right, that's the name of this show.
That's
That's it. Yeah,
just enjoy. Just
the
go
AEG
along.
cast. We go the fuck off topic. But no, I mean, overall, I really wish that some of these companies or some of these publishers would get backwards compatibility together. At least, like I said, even just make the digital versions available again from PlayStation 3 on the PlayStation 4.
At the very least, because it's account connected, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you don't want to remaster games, that's fine. Just fucking throw
I
them.
could, like I said, I could care less if I get a 1080p version.
No, I don't give a shit. I didn't play the game originally in 1080p.
Right.
So I don't really care.
Right. I mean it's nice. Like when I was playing, when I got the Jak and Daxter games from the PS2, it's nice to see those games, up-resed and running at at least a locked 30 or a 60 frames a second in 1080p, because they never looked that good or ran that smooth, and trophy support and all that stuff. That's a great touch, but
it's not
I
necessary.
don't need it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: there's something that I realized when I was playing a couple of months back. I was playing the remaster of Final Fantasy 12.
It's a good game.
And
underrated.
We were actually just talking about that tonight. Dalton and I were.
And
go ahead.
The thing is this: there's something about remastering games and upscaling their, the software, not the software, but the actual graphics of it to high, 1080p, that you lose something when you rescale it. Because I remember playing it, and I remember playing some of the sections, and it just felt mystical. It felt that I was getting into this old dungeon, and I could see a lot of dust, you could feel it hadn't been touched in centuries.
Right.
And when I was playing it, it was this feels very shiny. This feels like somebody just came in with a mop and just
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes cleaning things up makes it worse in a way.
Yeah.
It depends. On the game.
Yeah.
It depends on the game and the art assets. The PS2 games. PS2 games won't hold up as well over time because those art assets were standard definition art assets, which is okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
But it's also weird because I go to play this this remaster of a game and I see it, I don't. What I'm seeing on the screen as the remastered version is not what I remember in my head of what it looking like.
Yeah.
And it's super weird and off-putting. I'm okay with that though. So honestly, kind of tying this in with the backwards compatibility thing, you don't have to remaster them.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Fact, give me my PS2 copy. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Microsoft has done a really great job. I can't stop giving them kudos because they've done such a good job with the backwards compatibility program where in many cases the original Xbox 360 code runs better on the Xbox One, even on like a regular Xbox One or Xbox One S.
Right.
There's like a couple games like Fallout 3 and Gears 3, which I played recently on Xbox One X. It actually runs at 4K, and
What?
because
actually
the
didn't know
art
that.
assets. Yeah, well, so there's 7 games. There's I can't mention it off the top of my head, but I know Gears 3, Skate 3, Fallout 3, Halo 3,
Halo 3, yeah. I thought Halo 3.
Mirror's Edge, Mirror's Edge. I don't remember what the other two are. They run at 4K. In fact, Halo and Mirror's Edge run in full HDR. So if you have a full 4K HDR TV, you can take advantage of that. And that's not a remastered game. It's a straight up backwards compatible original Xbox 360 game that Microsoft was able to take to another level with Scorpio. And it just looks, these games hold up. They look awesome. And also just real quick, I'm so thankful for backwards compatibility on Xbox One. Because growing up as a kid, I was a PlayStation guy. I didn't own any consoles.
So a lot of those exclusive Microsoft exclusives, you missed out on them.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on absolutely. So I was able to play Alan Wake, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Alan Wake, I love that game.
So fucking good.
Gears games and stuff like that.
Yep.
Alan Wake is
We've been going
stupendous.
40 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a good game. Alan Wake is a great game.
Top 5 here pretty soon.
But yeah, overall, like I'll give my final thoughts on backwards compatibility. Then we do kind of need to move on. We've almost been going at this for almost 35 minutes or so now, and we still got to get to the game of the year stuff. But like, I think there's a way that Sony can do it. I think they know how they can do it. But at the end of the day, if they could sell their PlayStation Now subscription, that's unfortunately what they're gonna do.
And I think if they made it a little cheaper, I think that'd be the way to go. Because I don't think people would mind spending.
Like I said, if it was
little bit of money.
I mean, I pay monthly subscriptions for Hulu,
Netflix.
Amazon, Netflix, and WWE
VRV.
and WWE Network. And yeah, I'll probably end up tacking something else on there eventually. But honestly,
$10 a month?
$10 a month, I could get behind it if
little
it
bit.
ran better.
There's almost like 700 games on there now.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
a
there's
lot.
there's
There's PS4 games on there too.
yeah, which I was actually there's a few PS4 games on there that I'm like, oh shit, I never actually got to play that. But
They're
if I
not
had the
new,
subscription,
but-
no, it's like older stuff. But I'm like, oh shit, if I had the subscription, I would probably at least pop it on to see.
Yep.
You know, do you get trophy support and stuff?
Yes,
like that?
trophy support, all that.
Yeah, you get
Okay,
trophy
so
support.
it's
Yeah,
included.
Yeah.
you even get a PS3 overlay as a UI too.
Yep.
What?
It's like you're playing on your PS4.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll probably do my free.
It's bare bones, but it's there.
I was
7-day free trial, guys.
I was like, yeah, like I'm off
XMB.
tomorrow. I might
Yeah.
give it a shot. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think there's a way that backwards compatibility can work. I mean, clearly, like you said, because Microsoft knows what the fuck they're doing with it, and I understand also at the same time, instead of doing backwards compatibility, a lot of like Nintendo and Sony and stuff are reselling us.
Shit,
A lot
Shit,
of the
we've
hardware
already
that
paid.
we
It feels
already own,
predatory in a way.
It is.
Yeah. which
but-
is really, really, really annoying. But
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
we'll,
it is
we'll
what it is.
definitely
It's a
revisit
business
this,
for
'cause
them.
I'm sure as 2018 goes on,
My game cabinet's full of shit
Yeah.
that I can't play on my PS4.
right?
I still have all my old consoles though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my PS3 hooked up still because one day I hope to play Mass Effect.
oh,
You've never
yeah,
played Mass
good
Effect?
luck with that.
Neither have I.
No, I've got the trilogy. I've got the trilogy sitting.
Ugh.
Never played them.
I know you've been. I know you've either listened to or been listening to the Game of the Year Giant Bomb stuff.
I
Yeah.
love that.
They fucking killed.
It's
Mass
good,
Effect.
man. You gotta get to those 25 years.
They didn't
Mass
even
Effect
put
sucked.
on Breath of the Wild, which I thought was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Jeff from Giant Bomb?
Jeff Gersman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't put
Yeah,
Breath
I
of the
know.
hated
Wild
that
I
game.
know you guys.
15.
I was like, yeah, I know you guys will never hear this, but god damn it, I love you guys, Giant Bomb. Like,
Yeah.
those podcasts are fantastic.
I love
personally
you, Dan
wasn't that
Reichert.
Harsh on Breath of the Wild, but I thought
I
it
mean,
was hilarious.
they gave its credit was due in other categories because I'm on day 3 still, so I'm only about halfway through.
Oh, I won't ruin anything then. Okay, I'll just.
Yeah, no, I just finished the I'm in the category of best sequence. I loved listening to the Wolfenstein sequence, best moment or sequence category as well. But
I love that they did that by parts because I was able to skip that because I haven't played the new Colossus yet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this.
yeah,
New Colossus is awesome. I'll tell you that, man.
but
one-
all right. So
We'll all start with our number 5s.
yeah, all right. So what we're gonna do everybody's gonna talk about their top 5 games of the year. I mean, we can throw out a couple honorable mentions if you want to, but we're already pretty deep. So if you, because I know you have some, Goose, go ahead and throw them out real quick.
I'll just throw them out real quick. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I played that for about maybe 15 to 20 hours. I really enjoyed that, playing with my friends co-op.
Yeah,
that was a really fun game.
Co-op in that game, I played probably 30 hours into that game when co-op. It was so much fun.
It's a huge world. Yeah. It's very Ubisoft in terms of, you go here, And
the nice thing is that they're supporting it, and they're adding.
Yeah,
they're still adding stuff to it.
It's very, very Ubisoft in that, you gotta, think of Assassin's Creed in terms of the towers and things like that to open up the map.
Yeah, it's literally Assassin's
really
Creed,
fun.
but a shooter.
So any other ones?
Yeah. My second one real quick is Injustice 2. I used to love fighting games when I was a kid. I don't play fighting games as much. As a huge DC fanboy growing up as a kid, I thought this had a great narrative for a fighting game, and I never expected a fighting game to have such a fun narrative. And I beat that game in one sitting. That's how much I enjoyed the story. Yeah. And then my final honorable mention. And oddly enough, this is probably like the second or third game I spent the most time in. I'm a hardcore baseball fan since I was a kid. It's the best sport in the world. It's the best sport in the world to me. Sorry, anybody who disagrees. And MLB The Show 2017. MLB The Show 2017. I put in, oh my god, hundreds of hours into this game this year.
A few years too.
Yeah, 17. This is coming from a non-sports playing video game player.
Yep.
I don't play sports games unless I'm really in the mood to be like, oh, I really want to enjoy some FIFA or some Madden, and I'll honestly just go out and rent it, play it for a couple days, and be done because I've gotten it. But I don't buy games, but everybody was talking about the show, so I picked it up.
That's good.
And baseball is a fantastic sport. I played when I was a kid, so it still has a special place in my heart.
18 looks good.
But yeah, 18 actually is looking real good.
Yeah, you got my boy Aaron Judge.
Yeah, your boy, get out of here with that.
Yeah, I'm from over by Cleveland, so I can't.
Oh, wait a minute! They should have put Giancarlo Marlin.
Shut up! You're a Mets fan. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I feel like Derek Jeter just went there to sack the Yankees.
Like, yeah. Don't even get me started on that. I'll go on a rant. I'll go on a fucking rant.
I was gonna say, you guys. I don't even think you guys know who my favorite baseball team is.
Indians are about to win the World Series this year. I can tell you.
Is it Atlanta?
Yeah, right.
Wait. Give us a hint. Give us a hint. Is it American League team or National League team, Jeff?
American League.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's not
Oh, good guess.
Okay, give us another hint. East, West, or Central?
Dalton just guessed it.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it, so we're gonna move on. What's
What did you say? Cleveland?
I'm Cleveland. He said Boston. I guess Boston.
Mm-hmm. Really? Wait. You're telling me you like the Boston Red Sox?
Damn right.
Sports cast.
You guys even
tell me?
All right.
Sure.
Fucking A.
Marlon,
1986 says hi.
Yeah, you're funny.
2004 says hi as well.
Anyway,
number 5, White Sun.
White Sun, go.
All right, I'll start with my honorable mentions first of all. So Destiny 2. What? Prey.
Nice.
Then for me, the number 5 will be Odyssey. Number 4 will be
No, just 5. Just 5.
Just 5. Yeah.
Okay. Destiny 2, Cuphead, Prey.
No. We're doing 5. Just focus on 5. We're doing the round table.
Yeah.
5. Everybody does 5. Then everybody does 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5. Very, very simple. It is Prey.
All right. Why?
Why? Because it's fucking awesome. Simple as that.
It's Bioshock.
Right.
It's Bioshock as a fucking sci-fi shooter. It's literally fucking awesome, man. You should play it.
Yeah, I mean, it was... The only thing that got really fucking difficult.
We'll have to keep these short, though, because we got 4 people doing the top 5.
Yeah.
So, Goose, you're number 5, man.
Sure. Real quick, it's I know I bragged on it a lot. All of us have bragged on this game a lot on this podcast, but it is Destiny 2. At its core, it's a great shooter. It's a shooter. It's got potential.
Give it that, and the story was good.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential, but it's seriously flawed, and I hope that Bungie can get it on the right track.
Yep.
And
outrageously flawed in most cases, but
and like we've all said, we're not giving up yet.
No,
we're just not currently playing.
Yeah, I'm just putting a pin in it until
until
they. Well, I think it's
for a while.
I think this week they're supposed to make the announcement about what the plans are for the next
Verse
few
on
months.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to do something. They've got at least.
There's a lot of rumors that what people want to happen is them to pull a fucking Battlefront 2. Take Eververse out of the game. That's not going to happen. And I don't think that would solve the problem. That would actually kind of limit
Make it
the
worse.
game unless they found a way to incorporate all of that loot into the main, the main grinding, part of the game. Right. So.
The main way they can get rid of that problem, and they'll never do it, because the whaled is if they come and say, we are getting rid of the Eververse store, and this is how you can get all of its contents grinding in game.
Yeah,
and then
if it's anything other than that, I honestly think it would be a detriment to the game. Because if they're just like, oh, we're gonna suspend spending money on the Eververse store, like that's not gonna fix anything, because the Eververse system itself is still fucking broken. Yeah. But
yeah,
okay.
I feel like we gotta put a pin in this,
we got
do this every week on
yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah, so we really do.
But that was 5. 5 was Destiny.
It's becoming a fucking thing.
5 is Destiny. 5 for me. I like the South Park game, The Fractured Butthole. Loved it. I have played it.
Oh, I thought you said you hadn't.
I re-downloaded it. And
Okay,
played it.
all right, okay.
So I played it. I haven't quite beaten it yet. I'm really close, but
I thought you were literally last week. You're like, oh man, I haven't even downloaded it yet.
I downloaded it. And played
I bought one, but I haven't even downloaded it.
I played that.
Good.
I forgot I played that.
Good. I'm really happy that you played that, because it's really freaking good.
It's good. So number 5.
Number 5 for me, Super Mario Odyssey. That's
good.
I don't even my list. But yeah, Super Mario. I mean, we've already kind of said, I have my issues with it, but overall, it's one of the best Mario games I've ever played. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Back on it. Sweet.
All right, so Marlon, number 4.
Number 4 is Odyssey. Simple as that. For the same reason that Jeff played it. It's awesome.
Cool. Goose?
Yeah, same thing. It's funny. I just flip-flopped it. That wasn't my original 4, but there's another game I feel stronger about. But no, it's Super Mario Odyssey. I finished it this past week. I enjoyed it. I felt giddy playing it.
Yes.
At times I felt like
back into being a little kid again.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The Moon Kingdom and the Luncheon Kingdom are probably my 2 favorite levels.
A lot of people didn't like the Luncheon Kingdom, but
yeah,
I can understand.
I
it
thought
was very, very unique.
Right.
So.
It was different. The colors just popped at me. I thought it was cool. My dog kept watching it for whatever reason.
Good job, Nintendo.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Seriously, this honestly, in a lot of ways, this was Nintendo's year in terms of
for sure
games,
hardware, and video games. Yeah, for sure.
Dalton,
number 4, Breath of the Wild.
It's interesting. It's this low on your
number
list.
Number 4. Yeah, I love the game though. So.
I mean, we're all gonna. I guarantee. I don't know if I guarantee, but I'm gonna. It's a strong possibility that Zelda's on all of our lists.
I think it should be. I think.
Yeah.
I've stated
I
before
think
that
I
don't think
know
it was Game of the Year.
which is Dalton's number 1 now.
I've said that I don't think it should have been Game of the Year, but I still acknowledge that it's a.
It is.
But it's a really good game.
And I'm not mad that it won Game of the Year.
Right. It is one of the
that's the
finest.
distinguishing thing.
It is one of the finest video games that probably has ever been.
So number 4, Breath of the Wild.
All right. So your number 4 is Breath of the Wild. My number 4 is Nier Automata. No, excuse me. Sorry. Nier Automata is a little bit higher on the list because of how fucking good that game is. Anyway, Horizon Zero Dawn is my number 4.
Great choice. I love the game.
I actually, it was funny when it first came out. I did not play it. I played it for like a day, and then I got busy with work, and then the Switch came out, and I got Zelda, and I'm like, fucking Zelda. I'm gonna play Zelda. So I did not play and finish Horizon until almost the end of July. Before I finally got around to it.
Great game.
And I kind of really regretted that it took me that long to do that, because
so many games I've done.
Yeah.
Here.
And I was gonna say, as I have gotten older, I do that more and more because I don't have as much time to dedicate to these games anymore. But Horizon is one of the coolest and most interesting and beautiful game worlds.
And Guerrilla really flipped their own script.
Yeah,
on that
because
one.
I mean, the
Killzone
franchise was stale as year-old bread.
Yeah,
like
newest
it was.
one.
I disagree, but yeah, sure.
I say I like the one that came out launched with the PS4. That one was good.
Shadowfall.
I thought that was good.
It was good. It was generic.
Yeah.
But
if you're looking for a Battlefield or Call of Duty, go play Battlefield or Call of Duty.
Right. I mean, I liked the Killzone games, specifically 2.
2 and 3. I love those games on
Good
PS3.
job, Guerrilla.
But yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn, they're completely different.
And honestly, good job on Sony for allowing them to
take a chance,
and take a shot in the dark and create When's the last what's
A brand
out
new
of all the
IP.
games that we've talked about this year? They're all sequels to something.
Yeah.
This is not though.
You know,
This
this is its
franchise.
own thing that's starting from scratch and starting something new, and that's honestly 9 times out of 10 I want those games to succeed the most.
One of the best protagonists, in my opinion, in pretty much any game.
And the stuff with
Aloy was awesome.
Yeah.
the future tech stuff, or not the tech, but the old.
God, I
the
wanna
old
play
tech.
that now.
Yeah,
I need to
I
go
know.
play Wild.
I honestly, I want to back and finish the Frozen Wild
Frozen
stuff.
Wild stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Frozen Wild stuff. I never finished. I haven't
Alright.
finished that DLC yet, but
So-
that's my number 4.
Number 3, White Sun, go.
Number 3 is easy. Horizon.
All right, that was nice and simple because I just spent 2 minutes talking. No, very very good game. Good again. Good job, Gorilla. Seriously.
Thank you.
They knocked it out of the park. Honestly, the world, the lighting, I was reading an article how the lighting came into effect on Horizon Zero Dawn,
The
and
photo
it's
modal. I spent like 2
freaking
hours in
awesome.
the photo mode.
I was like, oh my god, this is looking at it. Like, I think I have over 200 photos just in my fucking one of PS4s.
No, it's fucking
Like-
ridiculous. But all right, Goose, what's your number 4, buddy?
3.
It's
Or 3.
it's Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, 3 now for
Alright.
sure. It's Zelda Breath of the Wild. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I didn't beat it because because of Horizon.
And it's a long game.
It's a really long game.
Good game, though.
I don't have the nostalgia that many Nintendo fans have when it comes to Mario and Zelda
That's actually
and
that.
Kirby and all these other great Nintendo mascots because I didn't grow up playing Nintendo. But I can totally appreciate what it did in terms of an open world game.
Yes.
It did completely different things. It borrowed from other open games in terms of like Ubisoft with the towers, but it did it extra. Like you use the towers not just to unlock the world,
Yeah.
but to actually you can use it to place markers and actually scout out the world and be like, all right, I'm going to go there next, and I'm going to go there
And
next.
there's
And that-
always something new to find, and I think that's what I love
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah, it was like you said earlier. It was great exploration.
It didn't feel like it was dense when you're kind of looking across the landscape, but once you actually get to the area that you're looking at, it's like, oh shit, there's stuff to do everywhere.
It was
Yeah, there's stuff to do everywhere, and the world is so massive.
Yes.
And sometimes when you play open world games and you see all these things to do on a map,
It's overwhelming.
it's overwhelming. But you can also see the developers pulling on the puppet strings, telling you, "Hey, you go here next," and "Hey, you do that next."
Yeah,
But
this
I didn't
one-
feel that playing
This
with
one
Zelda.
just let you forge your own path.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really organic, and I really
Yes.
appreciated that. So that's my number.
Yeah.
Number 3. All right, what's your number 3?
Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo Sport, number 3. Loved it. Loved
I was gonna say, give us a
Huge
little
fan
bit.
of Gran Turismo. I've been playing. My dad bought my PS1 when I was a kid for Gran Turismo 1, and we started out playing that together.
That's
So
awesome.
my dad and I played Gran Turismo.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I've been playing them since that one came out. Whenever it was, like 97, 98. So,
Something like that, I think.
and this one, it didn't have the career mode and stuff like that, but they told you before the game launched, like, hey, we're focusing on online play.
Yeah.
They brought the career mode
Yeah.
in less
I
than
mean,
2
the-
months after launch.
The campaign mode's fine. I mean, it's nothing special.
But they've got the career mode now. They're adding cars, they're adding tracks for free. All of this
Yeah.
is free.
Yeah.
So
Which, take note, developers.
Yeah.
So I
Don't
commend
get your
them for
shit
that.
for free.
I commend them for that.
the driving's amazing too.
I mean, I don't have it's not on my list, but it's like Gran Turismo. I'm not a huge sim racing fan. Like, I honestly at this point kind of like the Forza games more, but in terms of a Gran Turismo game coming out in 2017, it's pretty much what I would want, honestly.
And
being
It was
actually
It's
good.
kind of a controversial statement.
Yeah.
It's
And
for the
being
hardcore.
good.
Yeah. Look
So
at
number
that's one of my honorable mentions because Gran Turismo is like I used to play the heck out of Gran Turismo 3, and I got really good with it on the controller. And after Gran Turismo 3, I just kind of like fell over, didn't play as much Gran Turismo 4, didn't play as much Gran Turismo 5, 6, maybe I touched it 35 minutes, something like that.
I spent a lot of time on
So when Dalton said, "Hey, listen, get Gran Turismo Sports. It's going to be a really good game," I was hesitant. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." But he won me over, and it's
Yep.
freaking good. It's freaking.
It's really
good.
freaking good.
I don't
Like
play
the driving, the steering, like the controller when it comes to actually like steering the car, it feels natural and it feels like okay, I have full control of this car. If I mess up, it's my own fault. It's not the game messing me up. It's not the track fucking me over. No, it is. It runs beautiful.
It is
too.
all about how you actually drive the cars.
Just real quick about Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
I don't play Sims much, but I grew up a PlayStation kid, so I know how popular and important the Gran Turismo franchise is to PlayStation.
Yep.
And the biggest compliment that I can pay Gran Turismo Sport is that it put Gran Turismo back on the map.
Yeah.
Because during PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, like, these were the sim racers to play on
they were
console.
the games
But-
to play. Like they are the cornerstones of the Sony franchise.
Yeah, and then on the
But over on
they
the
kind of
PS3
lost
days,
it.
they sort of lost it a bit, and you saw the rise of
Because
Forza over on Xbox.
5 was good. 6 was okay.
6 is okay. 5 was good.
Yeah.
The sounds were bad, and that's what people bitched about. But
Yeah,
the driving was
that a
still
lot.
good.
How tinny the engines were.
Yeah.
So continuing on, Jeff.
But yeah, so my number 3
Number 3.
is Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Which I know Dalton will speak more.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, it is one of the most interesting, most unique, most unexpected games I've played this year. You know, I heard all these things when it first came out, and I was like, I don't know if it's for me or whatever.
Right.
But then, like this is gonna sound, you guys. I trust Dalton's opinion with a lot of stuff because I know him and I have fairly similar tastes in games for the most part.
It's been all about that, bro. Cool, you guys are friends.
Right. But it's certain things like if he says something like, dude, you really need to check this out. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Trust
I'll
his
give it a
judgment.
shot.
Yeah.
And he could not say enough good things about this game, and now I understand why.
Yeah.
I finished it. I got the 4 main endings of the game. I platinumed the game, even though I bought a trophy.
Yeah,
which is see,
Yeah,
Let's not
that
talk about
right
that. Let's
there-
not mention that at all.
Well, no, that right there though is what I mean by how weird and like unique this game is. Like,
Yeah.
what other game in the history of games has allowed you to purchase with in-game currency the achievements
Yeah,
or
you're not
trophies for the
spending
game?
real money.
Yeah, you're not spending any real money. Like, what
It's
game has
super
done
meta.
that?
Oh Lord,
No
that's
game.
funny as hell.
No game. In a way, it's like Yoko Taro making fun of trophy hunters and whores. It's like, yeah,
Right.
Yep.
whoever
It's
ever
like,
buy
well,
it.
if you really want this, have you worked your ass off?
You
to
can buy
played
it.
enough of this game?
Yeah, it's
Here,
funny.
just
It's
fucking
hilarious.
buy it. Like,
One of the most compelling stories, especially
yeah, because if watching the stream, it's on our YouTube channel and on our Twitch channel a few times. Like, I've streamed it, and the first couple playthroughs, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I understand.
it is such an emotional game. Too.
It's
like,
it gets to that point. Like, at first it's just kind of like baffling.
Yeah.
And then once you really like towards the end of the first playthrough, and especially through the second playthrough and the third and like 3B playthroughs, like there were points where I just had to set the controller down. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, did they just really bring that up? Like, did they really,
and it wasn't really like predictable either. Like,
No.
there's quite a few times where I'm like, what the fuck? I did not even pretend to see that coming.
Yeah.
So
Such a fucking good game.
number 3. That
That was my number 3.
awesome.
Okay.
All
Number
right,
2.
Number 2, Marlon.
Number 2, it is Sonic Mania. It is probably like for me, it's. I try
A lot
not to
of
get.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
I try not to get into nostalgia garbage because I know that it's a very murky area to get to. But playing a 2D Sonic game first time in a long while.
I
I
mean,
started
it-
out
it
on
felt-
Sonic, so I feel you, but
It felt good. It felt like I was back home, and it felt like I was back home when I was in 1998 playing the all Sonic games. And I was like,
Sega kid here.
like, dude, yeah,
I
I
had a
grew up
Sega
with
Genesis when I
Sega.
was
I grew up
little,
with Sega.
so-
I will not lie. I used to play the living heck out of the Sega games,
they
man.
have
So
they have no
for me,
yeah.
yeah, I went from a Sega Genesis.
They have
to
no
PS1.
emotional bearing on me because I have never played a Sonic game.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
played Sonic.
And-
2. Shit.
and the
Need to
beauty-
fix that this
and-
year, Jeff.
Oh,
Look, and the beautiful thing about this Sonic Mania game is the fact that you can actually change the settings for the graphics to make it look actual RCTV. And for me, it's like, oh shit, this is actually fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I now that I have a Switch and that game is on the Switch, and I think it's only like, what, $20?
Yeah, it's cheap.
It's cheap.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll make that a stream. Maybe I'll buy it on like
It doesn't-
PS4
it
and
doesn't
turn it
feel
into like
right.
a stream.
It doesn't feel like playing it on a Nintendo. Because
No.
Sega does what Nintendo don't, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you did there. But
Exactly.
I, mean, I appreciate why you love that game though so much.
No, I get it.
White
It's a
Sun.
good number 2. I support it.
But Goose, you're number 2.
It's Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I love
Interesting.
Not surprised.
I haven't played it yet.
I love the Uncharted
I'm a
games.
huge Uncharted fan, too.
I was a big fan before Uncharted 2 came out. I had a PS3 since '06, so I got Uncharted in '07 when it came out. I loved those games. I didn't like Uncharted 4 as much as I thought I would. I was actually I was let down by Uncharted.
Three is still.
It was good, but lots of it felt like it was dragged down.
2 is my favorite.
But no, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, because it proved that you can enjoy an Uncharted game without Nathan Drake. Chloe Fraser was an awesome protagonist. Nadine was a close second.
In the ship between the two of them.
Yeah, it's kind of
back and forth between them is very interesting.
Kind of wonder they're gonna take the franchise.
Yeah, it evolved over time. It looks like Nick Scapino, kind of funny.
Me too.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's my number 2. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was a really fun game.
Honestly, like
good game.
Dalton was saying, like I don't know where they're gonna take the franchise. I honestly don't know if they need to. They have The Last of Us. Oh, that's my alarm.
I don't think they need to take it anywhere, but if they did, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, because Dalton's right completely. Because with The Lost Legacy, they showed like you don't need Nick Drake. Like I totally want to play a Sullivan story now. Like give me young Sully. I want to play that.
Oh, absolutely.
That will be freaking awesome. I'll tell you that. Seeing the adventures and all the bullshit that fucking Sully got into when he was younger, it'll be fucking awesome, dude.
Maybe we can see a scene between him and Marlo or something when they were together.
Yep.
Like,
Marlo was villain from 3, by the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I honestly think they could really dig into with the characters. He focused on Nathan Drake, and I'm okay with that. Because it's not just him that makes that franchise so great. I mean, he is definitely a big part of it, and it centers around him. But you don't have to have every single game based on him.
They ended his story, and I think they did a good job with it.
They did a fantastic. That's like one of my favorite endings. Like, we're going back to 2016 games. Like that was one of my favorite endings.
I hope they don't do anything with his daughter, but
spoilers.
Yeah, me neither. Don't do anything with the kid. Just leave her alone.
Yeah. If you haven't played Uncharted 4 yet,
I mean, it's been almost 2 years. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, not to go on a tangent, but I was one of the few who felt let down by the story. I felt like it dragged out in a couple bits. So
there were
I felt like
points
where
it really kind of stubbed its toe, so to speak.
I still love those.
Yeah.
I still got emotional. I fucking cried because that's one of my favorite franchises and one of my favorite characters. And just that game is like it got so emotional. And, like just the joy I felt, after with the part with his daughter, and like it was just so good, so fucking well
maybe
done.
Maybe because I'm so negative, but the way they built up that game of Thief's End, I sort of expecting them to kill Drake off. And they did it. Yeah. And I'm like, you just drag this off.
It, though.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
But that was my number 2.
Okay, so your number 2, Dalton?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
For all the reasons we've probably already
we've
said.
already mentioned.
And probably that and more.
Yes. All right, so my number 2 is Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know, Goose, you have not played it, and I don't think anybody else has played it.
You can tune out if you want.
No, I literally... If you've ever been a fan of anything Bethesda has done, any of the weird, crazy stories that they have, worlds that they have come up with, this will blow all of your expectations away and make you, when they announced, inevitably, another Wolfenstein game, day one purchase, no questions asked, because this was, like, a game that, because it came out, I think, same day as... Was it Assassin's Creed
and so October 27th.
Mario, Assassin's Creed, and Wolfenstein all on the same fucking day.
It was a good day.
And I'm like, it was a great day. And I'm like, no, Assassin's Creed and Mario.
I was broke that day.
So I was...
Screw Assassin's Creed, screw Mario, I'm picking that.
I was actually like, I'm going to get Assassin's Creed and Mario, I'll wait on Wolfenstein. But then, reviews started popping up, and I'm like, damn. I forgot, I really loved Wolfenstein 1, and why did I not buy this? And so I bought it, and I started playing it. I literally became in 3 sits. I could stop playing.
I need to play those games. I've never played
They are very, very good. You honestly don't really need to play the old Blood, but definitely play through the New Order and the New Colossus.
Yeah, you have to play the Order in order to really get the New Colossus.
And it's just one of the most batshit insane... You think a Nier Automata is a batshit insane story? Play Wolfenstein 2.
I haven't played the New Colossus, but I did play... and it's funny, because I think this feels Dalton just doting over Nier. that Nier is going to be like my Wolfenstein back in 2015. So Wolfenstein: The New Order came out in 2014. I didn't play it until the following year, and I was blown away. Like, I'm like, wow, I never thought I would care about BJ Blazkowicz as a
He's
character.
one of the best, most well-written characters that I've seen in a long
You have to
time.
give it a shot if you
Yeah.
guys are talking this highly about this.
Yeah.
Especially with me being a big story. Like, that's...
Yes, it's
It is,
because
man.
the only
It's a
problem,
story game.
and they honestly, like, Giant Bomb kind of hit the nail on the head. The story is so freaking good, but the getting to those story beats can be a pain in the ass. So I know you generally play on normal and stuff, like, play that game on easy. Drop it to the easiest difficulty.
Yeah.
Just burn through it. It took me about 8 hours.
Okay.
On the easiest.
Yeah,
difficulty.
Brad from Giant Bomb did that, and I really trust Brad's judgment. I'm like, damn, okay, I should play this on easy.
Yeah, play it on the easiest difficulty.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy yourself.
That's your number 2, then.
Yeah, that's my, Wolfenstein 2. I can't say enough good things about that. It was almost my number 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we are on number 1s now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starting
All right.
Staying with old Marls here.
Marles Barkley.
Starting with Marls Barkley.
What's your number 1?
All right.
All right.
Marlon.
Goose.
Marlon doesn't have a number 1. He's boycotting the number 1. And Goose, what's your number 1 now?
It's Horizon Zero Dawn. It's basically for the reasons you guys mentioned. I think it was Dalton or Jeff who mentioned how great it was for Sony to give Guerrilla the opportunity to make a new IP, and I'm happy that paid off for them. The people over there in Amsterdam make great games. I'm a big fan of Killzone 2 and 3 and Shadowfall. I love the Killzone game.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
like
so-
I said, I guess it kind of sounded like it was like, oh, Killzone sucks. It was getting old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, for
they
sure.
honestly
Even the
stopped
developers
with
have
3.
said, yeah, they were in that world for 10 years. They needed something refreshing, and they got Aloy. I agree with Dalton. Aloy,
fucking killed it.
And
they killed it. Yeah, Aloy was.
They created probably one of the best new IPs in the last 10 years.
They have a new Sony mascot to go along with Drake,
Yeah.
and to go along with Kratos, and to go along with Sackboy.
Aloy.
The biggest compliment I can pay the game was that when I knew that I was going to come out in February of 2016. No, 2017. I'm sorry. In November of 2016, I went out and I got a PS4 Pro and I got a 4K TV, and I said I'm going to play this game with this setup.
And it looked beautiful.
And
It is gorgeous.
and it looked beautiful, and it looked great. And
Beautiful
that,
and stand, like,
Yeah,
on the
it
regular
didn't even
PS4
matter if you were
1080p,
playing. Yeah, it didn't even matter if you were playing on 4. And I mean, yes, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely looks.
eye bleeding amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry,
but
whenever a
Yeah,
PC game
it's a
is
great
going,
game. I really enjoyed it.
console graphics aren't good enough, but that's a whole other conversation.
yeah, that's an art style versus fidelity kind of
Yeah.
argument.
Go fuck yourselves.
the narrative, the narrative gameplay against the robo dinosaurs, the world just felt it felt so lived in. Especially like I'm a big fan of hunting collectibles, and I love reading the emails and reading the.
Yes, and I went through and found them all.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't do that in games very often.
I don't either, but I did everything.
Because
Yeah, because
like you said,
it just
actually
it
felt like
really like it sucked.
Go ahead.
It breaks the pace of the game because you have to stop and search for them, but it adds so much exposition to the story, and I love the stuff that took place ages ago, millennia ago or whatever. And
it was so good,
The
dude.
fact of why why the humans have regressed essentially is such an interesting concept. Like I don't think I've ever really seen anything like that. At least not in games. I'm sure it's happened in other media.
And like Goose said,
And then-
he was hunting the robotic dinosaurs. Like, I literally, when I first bought that game, I kind of forgot about the story, and I was like actually like hunting these fucking things for no reason. Like, I wasn't trying to get anything. It was just so much fun.
Like I honestly
combat
think they could have done like a DLC where it takes all of the story elements out of it, and it's just literally like your goal is to just go hunting and live
like
and
the
just-
hunting grounds.
Yeah, or not even just that, but like survive. Like oh god, what are you doing? Yeah, hold on. Sorry guys, but yeah, it like I would be just doing like just hunting and like basically like owning your own shop and going out and hunting all these parts and then having people coming like turn into like
Why is it not showing them?
like a game shop like simulator and stuff like that. Like, did you
Well, it says he's in the call now.
Whiteson, you there, buddy?
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, lightning just hit the fucking house. So
Yeah, enjoy your Florida weather.
Yeah.
got
Anyway, but yeah, no, like I would be like expanding on that and just turning it into like I think it would be really cool to just like to own your own shop in the game, and like your goal is at night or when you're not running the shop, you have to go out and hunt and get items for your shop. I know there's like other games that have like that would be really cool. Like that world is so interesting that I would be fine with doing that.
So your number one is Horizon then.
That was my game of the year for sure.
Yeah, it's
Marlon, do you want to do your number one real quick, buddy?
All right. Yeah. Before I got cut off, it was basically Cuphead, my number one.
Really?
I'll tell you.
number one. I like it.
So the difficulty level for me was the fact that people were saying, "Oh, the difficulty is a pain in the butt. It's horrible. It feels like I'm already playing a Dark Souls games all over again." And for me, it was like I'm playing a freaking 2D Dark Souls game all over again.
Fair enough, man.
That is real. That's
difficult. So for me, that it just and the style of it was just like playing watching 1950s, 1940s, old cartoons. And for me, I just enjoyed it. I loved it.
So White Sun's game of the year is Cuphead, and Goose's is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Dalton?
So good list so far. Near Automata. I don't think that was a surprise for anybody.
Not even a little
No,
bit.
not at all.
No,
And well deserved, according to you, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of you. Like, I haven't really played Cuphead. I played a little bit, but not enough to. But I think,
we're all gonna have different number ones, actually.
Yeah, but all of our, except for Goose, he hasn't played Nier, but we all had Horizon in our.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Marlon Zelda though, I was wrong.
I thought his was gonna be Zelda.
I didn't think it was gonna be Zelda. I didn't think it was gonna be Zelda. He said
didn't
he's
I?
still working on it.
Okay.
But I at least thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, he's working on it still.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's just that the thing with Zelda for me that takes it away from being a number one spot or being on the list overall is because A, I'm halfway through it, and two, it's
Yep.
I love the story, I love the thing, but it's just a freaking degradation system that's grind years beyond belief. Because I'm a Dark Souls fan, I'm a Rat Pack, I love collecting all the weapons, I love collecting all the.
Speaking of degradation and all that fun stuff and climbing up mountains and stuff, Jeff, what's your game of the year?
Well, it's funny that you talk about Zelda because Breath of the Wild is my game of the year.
And that's fair.
Kind of backing off of what you said a little bit ago. This is the first Zelda game I've ever finished. Which I've played them all, bits and pieces here and there, but I've never given one enough time to really, grab me and let me sink my teeth into it. But it was on purpose. It took the week that the Switch came off of work because I knew that I wanted to give this game some time.
I did that for GTA 5.
And I spent 50 or 60 hours that first week playing it. I beat it within a week because I had that amount of time to really sink into it. Like, it grabbed me and wouldn't let go. And, there were days where, I may not have wanted to, sit at the TV and play it, so I put it in handheld mode, and I would lay on the couch and watch TV, but also be sitting there, grinding out shrines and stuff like that. It's such a testament to how good that game is for somebody that doesn't, really finish or get into Zelda games to love a game as much as I love Breath of the Wild.
Fair enough.
And that's about all I can really say is if you
Basically
own a Switch or a Wii U,
you buy the balls and
right? If you own a Wii U, fucking play Breath of the Wild.
If you own a Switch and you don't have Breath of the Wild, I don't.
What are you doing other than
something
maybe
wrong with
playing
your place.
Mario? That'd be about the only other excuse I would be okay with. But
God, or you're playing freaking Mario Kart 8.
I'm absolutely not playing Mario Kart. I fucking hate those games. I
really like those.
Those games are really fun.
I really like
You should give
Mario Kart, but I can't justify spending another $60 on a Mario Kart game right now.
I just can't. I can't Mario Kart.
But there's our game of the year. It was actually pretty
It's a solid list. I mean, Cuphead, Nier, Zelda. I think it's a solid list.
Yeah, like if you were to play 4 games, these are pretty damn good 4 games to play.
Yep. Especially the main 3 with Horizon.
If anyone over at Microsoft is listening,
Yeah, because
think about it. Other than Cuphead, no Microsoft exclusive games.
Yeah.
In Cuphead, was it a
was
PC game?
Yeah. It was a PC game too, yeah. So if anyone over at Microsoft is listening, just take stock of our list. I mean, you guys need to step up your first party game up.
I mean, I think they have an opportunity if they're gonna do another Gears or Halo this year, they definitely have an opportunity to really blow it out of the water, but they need to really rein in Halo.
Do not fuck up Halo again. I don't think that's going to be good for franchise. Because
I mean, Gears 4 was ultimately a good Gears game, but it wasn't.
It was. Gears 4 was amazing.
But it was not like I don't want to say it wasn't memorable, but it didn't really stick with me.
New IP.
Yeah,
they need new IP.
Yeah, we've already been recording for way too long.
Yeah, we've been recording quite longer than we normally do, but yeah.
This one's worth $1, folks. This one is worth $1.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, last week's got a little off topic, but
yeah, it's fun about these though.
Oh yeah.
But all right, so those are our games of the year for 2017. I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week yet. We didn't really know what we were talking about this week. We kind of came up with this. Came up with this a couple days ago. So
yeah.
But we have a Thursday night throwdown this week. I probably won't be playing a single player game again because I finished Nier now, so I'll probably be playing something different.
Yeah.
I don't know what yet. I want to play more PUBG at the same time.
Just haven't had the motivation.
Yeah. We'll actually we should talk about that next week, but we will. But yeah, we have a race on Saturday.
Yep.
Race number 5.
Number 5.
Almost halfway there. But yeah, it was interesting this week because this is week number 4 and still not a repeat winner.
No, 4 different winners, 4 different rounds,
Yep.
4 different pole sitters too.
Yeah,
4 different rounds.
Yeah, definitely check that out on the YouTube channel. It's up now on there. It was streamed on, but I uploaded it to YouTube a couple days ago. So definitely check that out on our YouTube channel. Other than that, I don't have anything. So until next time.
Yep.
See you guys later.
Later, guys.
Until next time.
Bye, everybody.
And go.